What's up, guys? Studfit here. Another episode of The Rundown. As you can see, my fearless co-pilot, Antlev, is not with me. That is not... we didn't break up. We didn't have a fight or anything like that. Don't worry. I think he would like to be here if he could. He is out traveling. So we were trying to see if we could squeeze it in yesterday before he left. But we couldn't get it in time. So you just left with me. Well, I hope that'll be okay. As you know, the Mario Kart Tour game that we love has had some changes going on. And so it's going to be probably much more condensed episode in general. I won't be, I think the banter between Antlev and I could extend things an extra 20 minutes, and then we'll probably, we don't have any more top 10 anymore. Instead, what we do is we're going to cover really the ranked items in the next three tours, including the Animal Tour, which will be after the Autumn Tour, and then we'll get into all cup ranking for the rest of the year total rest of the way for year 5, as well as also the ranked items. So this is really all we have to work off of. I think from that perspective, we'd love to get into to a lot more, but the game today is on loop mode, as some people call it, until at least the anniversary next year. So when we refer to year 5, that is the remaining year 5, meaning that we've kind of taken off all the information from the one tour that we've had, the anniversary tour, and just kind of looking forward. So what do the next 11 months and 2 weeks look like? And that's really where the focus of the rundown will be. And from that perspective, you really want to be able to optimize your account for what's left, whether it's rank or all cup ranking. There's still a lot of fun things to do in the game. I still plan on hanging out with you guys. And that's really due to a lot of the names that you see here. So some awesome people here, some great friends of mine on this slide, everywhere from the Super Studs. As you know, I was just with Frenzy Grind up in New York City. If you didn't miss that, I think it was like a 13-minute or so Kart talk. Feel free to check that out. We had some fun. Posted some pictures in the server. But Frenzy fans, Chris Clark, Larry98, Issa, Nat, Jeeves, Guanlin Zhao. These are the big contributors. These are some of the guys that really make it happen. And of course, we got Unicorn Stud, Nintenja, who's always having a good time with us as well. Really just has been kind of above and beyond across the community. But there's so many great other studs. I'm really so tickled pink that you guys have supported me for the last, 2 years of having this channel. It's absolutely insane to think that I've had this channel for 2 years. But really, the reason that I have made it this far and would like to keep going forward is thanks to you guys. And so I also give a shout out to those who are live with us. I see Bandit Guy. I see Chabout Rita. How's it going, Chabout? How you doing? Well, no like Halloween. I like it. I see John Hewitt. I see Cranebow, excited for Halloween. Let me know in the comments if you're going to be dressing up for Halloween this year. Again, we're like 10 days away. So let me know if you're going to dress up. I will be transparent with you. I might drop some of these pictures in my server, but I did dress up. We did like a little... I was on the reason I was in New York City is we're going up to the Massachusetts area for my company, for a company retreat. And there we did a costume party. I dressed up as Hulk Hogan. So I'll drop those pictures in the server. It was a blast. But let me know what you guys plan on dressing up for Halloween. I'll give you guys a shout out on the live stream. I see Thoko, Juan Ortiz. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Yes, Blazing Eagle. No spoiler alerts, but Blazing Eagle will be baller these next 3 tours. We'll get into all that, but again, special thanks to the Super Studs. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to those who are viewing. You guys make this happen. Now, on past rundowns, we like to talk about this, the Daily Spotlight Shop, and there were some things that were new that would come in for the very first time. There were some that we were, as we were on the chase of these new items and what was breaking the meta. I liked to be able to put these stud rubies on everything, but now things are a little bit more monotonous. I mean, at this point in time, you know what's out there. I think more importantly, everything I'm about to talk about this episode is exactly what you should be looking for in your Spotlight Shop. These are the items that will be in ranked, that will be in all cup ranking, not just the next 3 tours, but for the following 11 and a half months. So I no need to necessarily stamp any big stud logos on here, but you'll know what you want. As we kind of talked about, you'll see things such as Blazing Eagle and others that you're like, okay, yeah, now that's the one I want. And so you'll know what you see it because you're watching this episode. You guys are the super fans. You guys are the ones that are paying attention to what the meta is going on. Good. Let's jump into, again, this might be probably about an hour long episode, so a little bit more condensed. There's no top 10. It's really just focused in on the buffs, which seems to be dwindling. As well as also looking forward to the next 11 or so months. Now, here's the thing. This tour, it's a Halloween tour. Obviously, we have a lot of Halloween themed tracks coming back, such as Luigi Mansion, even some fall-related items, such as tracks like Maple Treeway, some of the Boo Lakes, Ghost Valleys, etc. So some of these are older tracks. Some of these are newer tracks. I think one of the things that we were looking at is to see what happened with Gold Mario. What kind of buffs did Gold Mario get? Well, unfortunately, he didn't end up doing so well. As you can see here, he got Luigi's Mansion. He got the Rainbow Road R, which are both 2019 tracks that you probably had pretty well covered between a variety of. I think some people were. I saw Sammy griping a little bit about the Rainbow Road R. Was a Kamek track. It was probably the last Kamek track that he was using, and you know, Sammy Kamek is one of his favorite drivers. So I think he was rightfully let down there by the fact that Gold Mario took over a Kamek track. Obviously, this is a little bit harder of a track to have Coinbox on because, you know, it's really narrow and there's plenty of jumps and other stuff going on. So technically, I could see you preferring Gold Mario over a driver like Kamek, but it's not going to be like one of those tracks that we were really hoping would have really exclusive aspects for Gold Mario. And you know, I think that's when there's no, like, you know, we're using a non-plus skill driver, a non-plus skill me, etc. So even the Airship Fortress, not a big win for him either. Just to look at SNES Donut Plains, I think one of the things we were really focusing in on is, would he be in ranked? And from that perspective, the Donut Plains, he is the only ranked track that he has, but that has Daisy Tie Dress. It has the Wiggler Me Suit, a couple other Me Suits in there, got Poochie and some others. So although he does have a ranked track there, it is not it's not necessarily the best track, especially if you invested in Tie Daisy. So the good thing is, if you didn't invest in Tie Daisy or Gold Wiggler, I think that's a great track for him. But overall, this was a probably a C plus type of buffing there for Gold Mario. Again, this is his peak. This is the tour that he's getting the most buffs, and here he is walking away with 2 2019 tracks and a 2020 track. So not so great there for him. We do have the Koopa Clown Me Racing Suit, which does have the ranked Boom Lake RT. So that's the drivers with 4 buffs. I'll take a little pause here to give a shout out to those who are with us in live chat. I see Poochie is a very good boy. Says hello. How's it going, Poochie? I see Juanero. Kendrick B. Hey, everyone. Thoko. No ranked tracks for him. Poochie is a very good boy. RIP Gold Mario. Yeah, Gold Mario got dirty. Got the dirty buffs this tour. It would have been nice to see him reward. One RT said I raced Gold Mario for SNES Rainbow Road R because of the 2 floating coin stars. That's a good point there. Obviously, those coin stars are really nice. Again, it's not a great coin box track, but I think we were hoping for more than 2019 tracks. I think we were hoping, like in this tour, you know, there are some really good tracks. Things like the Boo Lake. I think a lot of people even might have skipped out on Gold Petey, and so I think some were even hoping that Gold Mario would get some of these Boo Lake or some of these more exciting tracks. Wasn't the case. Now, this Donut Plains is a little harder to cover, but we have a lot of older tracks this tour in general. Moving to drivers with 3 buffs, we do have Wiggler, which is kind of cool to give him the Maple Treeway, both the regular, the reverse, and the RT. Obviously, the RT isn't ranked, but many of you have plenty of other drivers on that course. Again, these are some older tracks. Now, of course, Maple Treeway RT came out a little bit later. So that might be a track that you really like, but for some of us, going to be using the King Boo Me and other ones. This is not the good thing for Wiggler, and what works for him on this track is that any track where you get 200 action counts or above, having Giant Banana is really, really good. You get more points for a banana hit than you do a coin or many of the other actions in the game. So having those Giant Bananas going through these narrow pathways, there's some areas that are a little, not necessarily convenient for Giant Banana, but that's a huge win for Wiggler. Really all three of these tracks, because all three of them will get 200 actions pretty easily. I think obviously the RT being the easiest due to the actions, the trick actions, and of course he's in rank. So I think this is probably an A- for Wiggler. I'm not sure what more you could have won other than getting 2022 tracks or 2023 tracks, which certainly aren't all as prevalent this tour. What's going on high mileage, low rent? How are you doing? I see also. There's so many 2019 and 22 tracks this tour. That is very true, and that's again, I think everyone who gets bussed this tour is going to probably feel the same way. Joel says Wiggler has been overshadowed by Wiggler Me, but he has been sneaky good. I agree with that. Now, me personally, I'm a big Wiggler Me fan. I invested in him pretty early on, and haven't felt the need at all to invest in Wiggler. They've been kind of overlapping them together. I did go into the Gold Wiggler, which still the jury's to be out to see what his coverage looks like, and he's kind of overlapped with them too. But Wiggler and Wiggler Me literally came out the same tour. They've been getting almost the same tracks. It's pretty insane how they've been doing that. So many coin boxers on SCNS, Rainbow Road RT. Yeah, I'm with you there. Again, it's not the perfect coin box track, and I almost prefer Gold Mario over them, but there's just so many. PD Gold level 6's tour is the move. I like it, Brian. That's I like that move. This is a big tour. You'll probably see it throughout this episode. Big tour for Gold PD, man. He is going to crush it. So let's get into the rest of the buffs here. Obviously, I don't need to necessarily go into Blooper Me or the Light Blue Me, but the Light Blue Me. I mean, I think now that we know which tracks are going to be over the next year, I think some of us are just a little bit more gun shy than we were prior, just to go into these non-plus skill Mees. However, with that being said, I've been toying with leveling up my Waluigi Me instead of Gold Charging Chuck. I'll probably regret it the rest of the year, but at least I'll have fun. He would give me 8 tracks, which is pretty good for a Me suit, 4 of which actually are this tour. So we'll see if I end up doing it. But I mean, I think a lot of people are just, if you're looking at Blooper Me, you're looking at Light Blue Me, I mean, you'd really have to, I would highly recommend you taking a look at the trackers, the different spreadsheets, and seeing if it gives you 10 plus tracks. In that case, you can invest in one of these non-plus skill Mees, but I mean, there's really not that many. There might be like the Goomba Me or the Cheap Me that might fit into this category. And both of these Mees that I'm showing here have the Ice Flower skill, which are one of the tougher skills to really fully enjoy. Thoka says 2 times 6,000 coins extra for me. Gold PD already 8 triple. Yeah, mine's 8 quad for Gold PD. Loving them in this tour. But let's move on to the drivers with 2 buffs. We got Spartacon, got 2 Airship Fortresses, the RT and the T. These are not great buffs necessarily for him. I will say it was already pretty easy. I think with Boomerang, just for those newer viewers, and we're still always trying to cater to these newer viewers. For newer viewers, for a Boomerang driver, what you want is a short track. So like you wanted like these donut planes to go to Spartacon. That would have been a perfect scenario for him. You get your boombox, you get some other frenzy, a coin frenzy maybe, and who knows, maybe even like a banana frenzy or something else afterwards. Call it a day. You're gonna blow it out. So even if you're getting, because most of these, like say donut planes, the ceiling, the action count ceiling might be 150, 160 actions for a lot of drivers. So if you're able to extend that 20 actions, that's monster. Whereas you look at this Airship Fortress, these tracks, you're going to be able to get 200 actions from, with many, many drivers, not just Boomerang. So going from 200 actions to 220 actions by having a Boomerang driver compared to, say, a Giant Banana or, some other driver, is not going to really help you that much, because the way that the game point system is set up, over 200 actions, there is a point of diminishing return, and it's a substantial drop. So these are not great buffs for Spartacon, in my opinion. Now, if you have like a driver such as like, Gold Boo, and you're just be like, I'm not investing in this guy. I'm not going to level him up just because he hasn't had great tracks. maybe you see him as helpful for your account, but I would say these are two, just in a vacuum, two not great buffs for him. This Gold Luigi Knight, I would say, between these two 2019 tracks, neither one are necessarily that great for him. The Luigi's Mansion, I believe we have a Coinbox driver on there already. One that you party already left up, I'm thinking it's PGP. But then we also, I think the other ones each have a Coinbox driver on them too. So there you go. I think from that perspective, not so great. SNS Rainbow Road, again, at 2019 track. So, and neither one in ranked. So if you were like contemplating, hey, should I go into Gold PD or Luigi Gold Knight or Gold Wiggler or King Mario, this is one where you probably can check off Luigi. If you can eliminate one from that list, it's probably going to be Luigi Gold Knight for this tour. From that perspective, I think next tour he could get another 2 buffs and see what happens from there. But at this point in time, hold off on Luigi Gold Knight unless it makes sense for you in your tracker. And then Wiggler Gold, he does get this Maple Treeway R, kind of what we're going back to what we were referring to as well, and the SNES Rainbow Road T. So not two buffs I wouldn't say are moving the needle for you. If you were holding out on him, you could probably hold out another tour. There are some other non-plus skill drivers that we're kind of referring to here. The Wiggler Mees suit does get the Donut Plains 3R, which is a decent track for him. Maple Treeway T, this is one, again, we kind of talked about anytime you're trying to get 200 actions, it's great for Giant Banana. This is one with some narrow ways. You're definitely going to get over 200 actions, so you would prefer to use the Wiggler Mee than any other driver on this track, which is good for him. Monty Mole, again, some of these drivers you may not be as interested in. Some of the supers honestly have some better tracks in the way of buffs between some of the Boo Lakes. Like you see this Purple Toad pit crew got the Boo Lake R. It's a great buff for him. It's a 2022 buff. You would have liked that. Birdo Gold got the Ghost Valley 2T, which is a 2022 track. Those are the kind of tracks that I'd rather get. Even the Yellow Shy Guy Ninja got the SNES Ghost Valley 2R, and that's even a triple bananas. You might want to go into him. Man, so it seems like the supers are getting the better buffs, unfortunately. 1RT says, I haven't used Luigi Gold Knight on Luigi's Mansion because he's level 1. Use Gold Mario instead. He's level 8. Love it, man. Yeah, that's exactly why we have... why we have Gold Mario on that track. I mean, so that's, yeah, so there we go. Actually, hold on. Is he on? I don't think he got Luigi's Mansion. My apologies there, but we'll keep going. For drivers with 1 buff, we have Yaleen, got the Maple Treeway T. Again, it's a longer track for Boomerang, so not necessarily a great buff for her. Totoris did get a Boo Lake R. This is a great buff for him. I mean, it's a newer track. You definitely like these tracks for some very unique ways where drivers have to get a little consolidated. There are some breakups in the track, though, for that people can kind of go around that Giant Banana. But overall, great buff for him. Blue Mee Racing Suit got the Boo Lake T, a new track for him. That's pretty good for him. And here we go. Waluigi Mee Racing Suit. This is the one I mentioned. I had my eye on. He got the Donut Plains 3T, which is a great buff for him, and obviously it's ranked. And then Larry Mee, probably one of the best buffs in the game. He got the Boo Lake, which is an awesome track for him. These are the kind of tracks you definitely want to have a Boomerang driver on, and it's in rank. So I think he might be one of the winners in the way of drivers this tour. Morton Mee did get the Airship Fortress, which again, is a 200 plus action count track, and he's Giant Banana. But it is an older track. You probably had some good coverage going into this. And then that's probably where I'll draw the line. Not as much eventful for the rest of these guys. I will say the light green Mee Racing Suit did get the Donut Plains 3T. Pretty decent buff for him if you like the banana barrels. Yellow Yoshi did get the Maple Treeway RT. He has the Yoshi Egg, which is kind of a underrated skill, but I think you're probably set on that track. That's more for the newer players who may not have an older skilled driver leveled up. But yeah, that one can definitely get 200 actions even with a Yoshi Egg. All right, let's move to carts. And again, let us know in the chat if you're going to dress up for Halloween this year. Who are you going to dress up as? That's kind of the question of the day. We'd love to hear from you guys as we go forward. Moving to the carts with 4 buffs. The Black B-Dasher Mark II, the AKA Steeler B-Dasher Mark II. Absolutely love the look of this. I think it got actually a pretty good tour this tour. It got the Donut Plains 3T in ranked, and that's like it's slim pickings in the way of carts on this track. This is a really good track for him. And again, for some of us who went into it earlier, like myself, I took it to 8 double. I'm definitely tripling it this tour. This is a great buff for it in general. It also got the Ghost Valley 2T, which was one that I didn't have a great option on, and to get the 2 other tracks, but again, not as quite as eventful. So I think when you're looking at getting 4 buffs and you get 2022 tracks, that's a win. I'd say it's probably more of like a B plus, A minus, but I'd still consider that a huge win for a giant hitbox cart. If you want to ride its last wave here, we do have the Monarch Kart, which is a little smaller, but it did get some decent buffage, at least with the Donut Plains 3R, which is obviously a 2022 track, and then the Maple Treeway RT, which is in rank. So if you didn't have a cart for that, this one's kind of a fun one. I saw Shy Guy Karts invest pretty heavily in this. I think 805. It's kind of cool to see some of these newer items get buffed a little bit before you know exactly how it's going to turn out. I see One Euro who says, hard to get a coin box lobby on Boo Lake, though. That's a good point. Yeah, I think there's, I'm trying to remember if there's one or no coin box. I tried it myself. It's a little tough to get the right coin box in your lobby. So good luck to you on that. But if you do, hold that lobby as long as you can. Moving to carts with 3 buffs. This Silver Cupidero is going to be a really, really good cart this next year. It's already got plenty of good ones. And here it is getting the Ghost Valley 2T to get 2 2019 tracks. But that Ghost Valley 2T would probably give it a solid B rating this tour for an already pretty good cart. The Chain Chomp Chariot did get the Ghost Valley 2T. That's a great buff for it as well. We do have the Fishbone Fairy Gold Pipes. Some people were really excited. I know Sam was pretty pumped about the Donut Plains 2R for this Gold Pipes. Some other newer items still getting 3 buffs, which is really great. The Desert Rose Wagon got the Maple Treeway RT in ranked, and then the Blue Sub Scooter got the Boo Lake RT in ranked as well. Overall, pretty decent. I think even the carts with 3 buffs ended up panning out better than the drivers with 3 buffs. Moving forward, I'm sorry, there are a couple extras. My apologies. But the Yellow Sub Scooter got the Boo Lake, which is in ranked. One of the best buffs this tour for a cart. This is just a hard track to cover, so it's a newer track, newer cart. So you may not have invested in it, but this is a pretty good time to weave it in if you possibly can. Good. Then we have the Dolphin Drifter, got at least the Boo Lake T, which is nice. The Spicy Zucchini got the Ghost Plains 3, which is in ranked, a 2022 track, which is great for it. One of the better buffs this tour. Moving forward to carts with 3 buffs. I also see from Brian, says, anyone else shocked King Boo Mees suit did not get appear in the shop? Yeah, that's the Mees suits always kind of run at their own pace, but it would have been nice to have it in the shop, especially for those newer players who didn't get it. It's one of the best Mees suits right now. It's like peaking right this tour, double feature and ranked. I took it, I quad capped it myself. I absolutely love the King Boo Me, and hopefully. Looks like, hopefully comes at least in the next tour or two in the Mees shop. But yeah, no promises there in the Mees shop. They're kind of sporadic. Carts with 2 buffs. We did get the Boo Pipes, getting the Boo Lake R. It's a huge buff for it. To get the Ghost Valley one as well. Certainly, I think we were hoping for that one to get 3 or 4 buffs between that and the Gold Pipes. But Boo Pipes did get had a great buff for the Boo Lake R. Gold Cupidero, 2019 and 2022, and a 2020 track. So not so great there. Red Comet as well, same thing. Gold Shield Speedster got 2 2019 tracks. The Black Shield Speedster, for what it's worth, did get the Ghost Valley 2T. So it did get slightly better coverage this tour compared to its gold counterpart. But again, this is just a tough tour with so many 22 and 2019 tracks in there. The Silver Warrior Wagon, big winner here with the Boo Lake, a ranked track, tough track to cover, giant hitbox. So really some kudos there for the Silver Warrior Wagon. The Waluigi Racer Mark II did get the Ghost Valley 2T, which is a good track for it. Wiggler Egg, it's in ranked, did get a Maple Treeway, but again, it's a smaller hitbox. You may not want to invest. So there's plenty of options there on that track, even for the ranked option. Then really everything else is too small or not ranked. Moving forward to the second part of carts with 2 buffs, you did get the Wild Wiggler, get the Donut Plains 3. So there's a nice little ranked option there, 2022 track for the brand new Wild Wiggler. But again, it's on the smaller side. The Chocolate Mint Soft Swerve, got the Boo Lake RT. This is actually not only a phenomenal buff, but it's in ranked and it's got a decent sized hitbox. I know my boy Frenzy Grind just invested that, took it all the way up to level 8. So huge buff there for the Chocolate Mint Soft Swerve. I love the mint color on it. Should be a cool one, a fun one to use this tour or for this year. We also have the Yellow Turbo Yoshi, got the Maple Treeway RT. Again, that Maple Treeway might be one of the easier ranked tracks to cover for you. It should be pretty straightforward. The Green Turbo Birdo, they got the Ghost Valley 2R. Now, I have not invested in many super carts outside of the daily selects, but I mean, I've got most of my daily selects match. Every category except for super carts. So I really should be starting to close these down and really focus in on that. But I love this Green Turbo Birdo. This is an awesome cart. I was left basically cartless on this track, so I took this Green Turbo Birdo all the way up to, I think, level 7, maybe level 8 for this Ghost Valley 2R. That one's one of the harder at least for my account, one of the harder ones to cover. So just take a look at that one. That might be worth it. It looks awesome, and it's still newer. So as you can see, it's still getting 2 buffs here, which is nice. It's a nice little bonus there. 1RT says, we don't know which scale is best between Coinbox or Lucky 7 on the Boo Lake. Yeah, you know what? It's a good point. It's pretty twisty and turny. I actually kind of like the Lucky 7. I kind of like these Lucky 7 on ones where you can kind of aim the Lucky 7 into the wall, and it kind of helps not hit other items with all of your shells and all of your items. You can still get them with the bloopers and but I think the main part is being able to stall. I think you can stall pretty well on this Boo Lake. A really good point. Yeah, it's certainly debatable. I think you could. I mean, Coinbox is always going to be the easiest, except for in some of these situations. So it's definitely a toss up. It's a good debate there. 1RT says, "Wow, Boo Pipes is a great reskin for these 2 Ghost tracks." Yeah, I think overall the Boo Pipes is a great reskin in general. These are not bad tracks for it, but again, it only got 2. I was expecting it to get 3 or 4 buffs this tour, just being a Halloween tour. But for what it's worth, not bad. Certainly one really good one. You gotta like that. Rest of carts with a buff. We got a couple that are not really in ranked. I mean, certainly these are not too eventful. Doesn't look like anything on this page is in ranked, to be honest with you. I will say the Bronze Cucumber did get the Boo Lake R, which is nice. The Cream Classic got the Boo Lake T. And those are kind of the tracks that you're really hoping for in the way of buffs. Moving forward to gliders, we got 2 gliders with 4 buffs. One being the Luigi Golf Cap, who gets the ranked Donut Plains 3T, one of the best glider buffs you can get. Fortunately, it's paired with 3 2019 tracks, including 2 Luigi's Mansion. So there's probably no track as well covered as Luigi Mansions. I mean, you got supers on there, you got normals on there. For a newer glider that maybe didn't hit the meta, such as the Luigi Golf Cap, this is one probably to avoid if at all possible. Rainbow Bells, again, this is more of a newer glider. Ended up doing a little bit better. I did get the Boo Lake, which is in ranked, a harder track to cover, but also got the Ghost Valley 2T. So great buff, great overall positive buffs there for Rainbow Bells, and did get a 2019 and a 2022 track for what it's worth. Gliders with 3 buffs. This Mario Bros. Paraful, I had really high hopes for it. It did okay, probably a B- this tour. I got the Ghost Valley 2, which is a good buff, but then followed up by the Ghost Valley 1R and the Rainbow Road RT, both 2019 tracks. You got the Wiggler Parachute, and again, not every 2019 track is bad, but most of them have some really good, really easy coverage. Like you're talking supers, normals, other stuff that have already hit the meta, again, a couple years ago. So if you're a newer player, 2019 tracks might be good for you, but I think for the majority of you, you've already pulled stuff in your All Cup ranking pipes. You've pulled stuff, you've gotten stuff even in your daily selects because they're normals and supers that you have at a higher level. So 2019 tracks are probably the worst to get almost across the board. There's some that maybe don't have a bigger hitbox or maybe don't have a great plus skill driver on or something like that. But I think overall, those are probably the worst buffs that you know, from a blanket statement that you can get. Wiggle the Parachute got the Donut Plains 3T, which is a ranked track. Really good buff for it. And then get 2 Maple Treeways, which you probably cover between, Strawberry Donut and other gliders that had that track. You're probably all set there. But the Donut Plains 3T, solid buff there. Now, Jelly Chute, this might be one of the best gliders that got 2 buffs, or they got 3 buffs this tour. 2 of the 3 are brand new 2022 tracks. You got the Boo Lake, one of the hardest of the tracks this tour to cover. It's in ranked, and it got the Jelly Chute. And then you have the Ghost Valley 2T along with it. So 2 solid buffs there. Can't complain about that. Mario Golf Cap did get the Donut Plains 3R, but not in ranked. Again, you probably can hold off on both of these golf caps. Even if you like golf, you may not find a lot of value there. Gold Mario's Hat Balloon, 222 tracks and a 2019 track. So a big womp womp there for the Gold Mario Hat Balloon. But again, that's kind of what we have to expect for a lot of these gold items, carts and gliders. We do have the Melon and Banana Balloons. Did get the Donut Plains 3T. This is a positive buff for it. And although it did get to Luigi's Mansion, I don't necessarily see it getting again, it's still kind of on the rise. It's bright colored, so I'm kind of surprised it got to Luigi's Mansion, but should be a fun one. I think overall that's not a bad one to if you are looking for good coverage. Donut Plains 3T, Melon and Banana Balloons have still on the rise. It's only got 19 tracks, so not too bad of an investment. Now, I heard a lot of people rumbling in the community about the spooky sprinkle balloons. A lot of people really, really sad that this did not get more or better buffs. So when you're thinking about quality and quantity, definitely on the lower end. 2 2019 tracks. Did get the Ghost Valley 2R, which is a great buff for it. So again, I think the hate's gone too far. I think they're just the expectations were too high, to be honest with you. But the Ghost Valley 2R, a great buff. It's just not in ranked, and so people were thinking like this one's going to get like 10 buffs, and it's going to be all the great tracks you want. Guys, I think we just have to set expectations correctly. I will say this Royal Flush did get the Maple Treeway RT, which is in ranked, but I would say overall it's probably even worse coverage than the Spooky Sprinkle Balloons. I would much rather have this Ghost Valley 2R than get even Maple Treeway RT or the Rainbow Road or Ghost Valley 1. I think the one salvaging factor is that Maple Treeway RT is in ranked. So that part's positive. I love the look of it. I have it level 8 triple uncap just because I think it's so cool. I want to be using this glide as often as possible, but not great buffs per se for it. Glad I'm using it for rank though. For gliders, I will say that's for what it's just one last bow on it. That's not one that I was needing it on for ranked for what it's worth. 1RT says the Spooky Sprinkle Balloons. It's on the daily spotlights, and that's the theme for the Halloween tour. Yeah, is the Spooky Sprinkle Balloons on the daily spotlights? Yeah, I think we covered that earlier. I have to take a look at it, but I don't know off the top of my head. Overall, like if you need it for that track, for the Ghost Valley, it's not ranked. So my guess is it's not going to be on the Spotlight Shop because of that. I think maybe that's what people were hoping for. But again, you could have just snagged it, a couple tours ago. And, and from that perspective, I'm sorry it's not there, but it's not in ranked. That's kind of the deal. It's kind of the deal with the devil that we've made with Nintendo. I see Dilmo. What's going on, Dilmo? Hey, y'all. Just saying hi, and we'll need to watch the whole rundown tomorrow. Have a friend visiting in Berlin. Well, awesome, Dilmo. Have a fun time with your friend. Feel free to check us out tomorrow. Thanks again for the support. For gliders with 2 buffs, we have this red checkered glider, which was kind of starting to rise in some of the meta. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any 22 tracks or in ranked for that matter as well. Glittering Glider, same deal, 2019, 2022 track. That's probably going to be par for the course. Really, nothing else gets a good buff here. Except for Green Emblem did get the Ghost Valley 2R, which is a decent buff there. Red Emblem got the Boo Lake T. So both of these emblems probably being the winner on this slide, to be honest with you. for what it's worth, just because it got a very efficient buff there. Most of these guys are like on the way out. I mean, these guys have been out for like 9 months or so, and so at this point in time, you know, they're any buff on a newer item or any new track is going to be good. I still think that I think overall though, I think if you have to ride anything early for this Donut Plains 3T, go with the melon and banana. That's pretty cool, and then the spooky sprinkle balloons for the Ghost Valley 2R. I think you can't go wrong between those two. And then rounding out the last gliders with a 2 and 1 buff. Again, you don't really see a lot of this stuff in ranked. Some of the stuff got 22 buffs, such as the Mosaic Starshoot. Got the Donut Plains 3RT, a little tougher track to cover. Gotta like that. The Wavy Great Sail got the Boo Lake R. Nice to see that there. The pink bubble balloon, I would say, probably got the best buffs of any new glider this tour. It got 2, and it got the Boo Lake T and the Donut Plains 3R. So not in ranked, and you probably may not see some of these tracks in ranked ever. But I think if you're going for all cup ranking, this is a relatively newer item. It's only got 28 tracks total. So to get 2 buffs and very efficient new track buffs, that's a positive sign for Pink Bubble Balloon. Dolphin Great Sail got the Boo Lake R. It's a great one for it. And then the gold Mario Golf Cap and also the gold chocolate balloons got no rank track, older tracks as well. And then we do have some notable gliders with 1 buff, including the gold 8-bit glider, the golden glider, and also the bright ribbon and the pink checker glider and gold checker glider. All got different variations of the Rainbow Road, the 2019 version, so not a good one there. However, there is 1 glider with 1 buff making note, and that is the gold Manta glider. Got the Boo Lake R. Probably one of the only winners there of the gliders with 1 buff. All right, cool. So I'll take a little brief break just to say hello to 1C and 1RTs. 1C says, just tuning in, where is the aerodynamic Antilev? Yeah, Antilev he actually might be flying, to be honest, with that aerodynamic head of his. He's actually been traveling this week. He left early this morning, so he had to dip out pretty early yesterday. We were going to try to get together, but he will be back. Don't worry. I still love having him with me on these on these episodes. And then 1RT says Super Mario Bros. Wonder is here. Nice, guys. Good. Let's move into the ranked unlocks. There are a lot, which is important to know. So for the drivers, there's a couple to be noted on. So the Boo Lake track, you have the Toadette. I'm not sure if that's Toadette Astronaut, but it's a level 6 unlock for her. You do have a couple other drivers getting some unlocks, a lot of them on Maple Treeway RT, including Gold Yoshi, Gold Something, Gold Petey. You even have the Boomerang Luigi Knight. Those are the plus skills. You also have the Birdo Mees suit. So if you've gone into some Mees, might be an option there for you. This is one that's not hard to cover, but for what it's worth, it's a couple unlocks there for you. And then you have Donut Plains 3, which is just straight up. There's nothing being unlocked there. So, from that perspective, nothing really to make note of. And same thing with the Donut Plains 3T. Those tracks are you get what you see, and there's nothing unlocked with them. You do for week 2, you do have the Boo Lake RT. You can use the black Mii suit if you have invested in it. It's not one many have invested in. But you also have the Ghost Valley 2RT. So you got on that gold PD Piranha at level 6. You have that Toadette, I believe it's Astronaut, from what you can see here, and then the Dry Bones Mii Racing suit at level 8. So crazy investment there if you need to. But you notice out of these 6 ranked tracks, 5 of them are from 2022. That's why when we've been talking about 2022 tracks, it's like, that's how it worked last year. It's like they got these new tracks. 5 of the 6 new tracks, it seemed, or at the very least, 4 of the 6 ranked tracks were 2022 tracks. So, from that, or even new tracks that were just introduced that tour. I mean, if you think about over the last 12 months, we've just had new track after new track introduced. I mean, we're talking about 9 variations, 12 variations, somewhere in that range, every single tour. So you want to get 2022 items if at all possible. Moving to carts, we do have a lot for Maple Treeway RT. You are covered. Don't worry about that. However, there are 2 tracks that have nothing unlocked, and that's both week 1. You have Boo Lake and the Donut Plains 3T. Those both are what you see is what you get. And then you do have some sneaky options here for week 2. So for the Donut Plains 3, one to take note of is this Red Birdo. The Red Turbo Birdo has the Donut Plains 3, and for a super to unlock it at level 3, that's a massive opportunity there. But you might only have it at level 1, so you may not see that it could unlock at level 3. But make note of that. And then I think you also have the Rainbow Pipe Buggy, if I see correctly, a level 6 unlock there. For Boo Lake RT, you got the Purple Dozer, and then I believe what it looks to be the Red Vampire Flyer. And then for the Ghost Valley 2 RT, another Purple Dozer unlocked. This Purple Dozer came out in this tour, if I remember correctly. And then, hasn't been super useful, but this tour is when it's the most useful. It's, probably one of the least valuable dozers in the game, but it did have a pretty decent 2022, so which is all that we're going to see here for 2023 and into 2024 for year 5. You do have it looks like the Gold Trickster here as a level 8 unlock. And then for gliders, nothing unlocked for 3 tracks, including 2 this week 1. That is Boo Lake. It seems almost like, except for this little toadette, there's no unlocks here for the Boo Lake. You do have the Donut Plains 3T, which just like the drivers and carts, nothing unlocks on it. And then you do have for the Donut Plains 3, just like drivers, you don't have any unlocks for it as well. For Maple Treeway RT, again, you're covered. There's plenty of gliders that are level unlocked. You can take a look at those. Boo Mask's a notable one. It's a big one this tour, a level 3 unlock. For the Boo Lake RT, you do have the Gold Hard Hat, which is a nice level 6 unlock there. It does look like, I think I want to say it's Yosh, maybe the Autumn Leaves, level 6 unlocked, and then the Silver Candlelight Flight, a level 8 unlock, which is rare for many to have invested in it, but it's a decent glider, not a bad one, but this is definitely a tour to do it if you need to. And then a couple of options here for Ghost Valley 2 RT, including the Yellow Hard Hat. It looks like the Rainbow Fair Flyer, level 6. And then I'm trying to see what that one is. It looks like it's a gold glider. Hard to tell, but there is another one there, level 6 unlock. We'll probably expose a little bit more of it on the double features, which we'll get into that. We do have Peach Halloween and Black Mii Racing Suit and PD Piranha Gold. No surprise there for those. They're all 3 kind of Halloween or dark themed, and with that, they're all used 3 times. No surprise there. I will say that the PD Piranha Gold, as we just talked about, has 2 level unlocks. So a triple feature. Now, of course, you can win them in ranked, I believe, week 1 and week 2. So if you don't have them for week 1, totally makes sense. But not a bad one to invest in, but you might want to wait till after you win them twice before you start to invest in him, or just go into them and just receive the coins and just say, you know what, I'm gonna use them 3 times. We do have the King Boo Luigi Mansion. Shout out to Crazy, a big super fan of the King Boo Luigi Mansion. He, alongside Mario Halloween, King Boo Mii Racing Suit, Chain Chomp Mii Racing Suit, Petey Mii Racing Suit, Birdie Mii Racing Suit, Dry Bones Mii Racing Suit, and Toaded Astronaut used 2 times. Some of these come with unlocks like Toad Astronaut, which is what we just were referring to on the last page. But King Boo Mii Racing Suit, obviously probably one of the better ones there, as it's a plus skill Mii, which oftentimes there's nothing better in the game than using a plus skill Mii, and that still is going to reign supreme, even over a PD Piranha Gold, just as an example. I see Toad Tarpy says Purple Dozer released New Year's 2023. All right, well, there you go. New Year's 2023. Interesting. Okay, maybe the Trick Tour, that would make sense. We got a lot of the dozers that came with the Builder Mario, Builder Luigi. So that's a pretty good one there for it. For carts, we got the Gold Trickster and the Purple Dozer used 4 times. Again, we only have 6 tracks in rank, so to have 4 times is pretty insane. Both Gold Trickster and Purple Dozer have different unlocks. Both 2, basically half of them, half of its tracks get unlocked at different levels, including both at level 3. The Gold Trickster has a level 8 unlock, and the Purple Dozer has a level 6. So if you want to, you could take the Purple Dozer to level 6 and use it 4 times. If you need to get PD Piranha Gold, which should be a top priority if you do not have him yet. Definitely a top priority if you do not have him yet. I'm going to say it one more time. You want to win Gold PD if at all possible, and you don't have him yet. If you already have him, not the end of the world, but he's a big coin box driver. You're definitely going to want to have him for this year, and it's going to be hard to get him, obviously, as the rest of the year goes on. Obviously, he was a Halloween item, and I think you're going to want to focus in on getting him if at all possible. We have one cart used 3 times. That's the brand new, the reintroduced, which came out this tour last year, the Streetle, thanks to level 6 unlock. And then you have a lot of carts used at least 2 times, including the Gold Pumpkin Cart, Magna Broom, Tuk Tuk Cart, Black Sneaker, Mumu Off-Roader, Trickster, White Turbo Birdo, Gold Standard, Red Vampire Flyer, and Rainbow Pipe Buggy. So there you go. That kind of encapsulates all the ranked usage going into all cup ranking. So of course we have 45 tracks every single tour that was introduced in the anniversary tour last year. So obviously this entire year 5, you're going to have 45 tracks. And so, anytime you have something that's being used more than like 10 times, 12 times, that's a lot. So in this tour, there's even more overlap. Like, again, we have some Halloween items that are just going to be used on all the Ghost Valleys. They're going to be used on the Boo Lake. They're going to be used on all these Halloween items. You do have some autumn items that are going to be used on all these Maple Treeways, etc. So between all those, the Black Me Racing Suit is used the most, 16 times in total, which is absolutely insane. King Boo, Luigi's Mansion, used 15 times. Obviously, that makes sense. And then we have 2 Halloween drivers used 14 and 12 times with Peach Halloween and Rosalina Halloween, respectfully. Then you have Mario Halloween with his giant pumpkin head, used 10 times. King Boo Me Racing Suit used 10 times as well. Dry Bones Me Racing Suit, King Boo Gold, and PD Piranha Gold used 10 times. So of those that I just mentioned, King Boo Gold, King Boo Me, and PD Piranha Gold are probably the best drivers to use for all cup ranking. They're all plus skills, and King Boo Me is obviously a Me suit on top of it. But to use those 10 times is going to be great for all cup ranking compared to like Black Me or King Boo. Even though you're getting it 16 times or 15 times, those are ones that you may be a little more skittish on just to invest in for the future outside of this tour. But in this tour's little bubble, yeah, Black Me could make sense if you are going all out for all cup ranking. I know our boy Crazy is going in this tour. We're rooting for you, buddy. He obviously has King Boo Luigi Mansion, like level 8 quad capped for the longest time is his favorite driver. So if you have favorite drivers like that, also know that we have some people like that are Rosalina fans. Shout out to Wootmoo, who probably has Rosalina Halloween, a level 8 quad capped at this point. I know he went early into it because that's his favorite alt of Rosalina. But again, outside of this tour, these aren't very useful. This tour, very useful. So take it for what it's worth. Take it with a grain of salt. Nothing else is really in the meta or a plus skill, so we'll just kind of stop there for a second. 1RT says, wow, PD Piranha Gold is on the ranked with 2 unlocked tracks. Maple Treeway RT on week 1 and Ghost Valley 2 RT on week 2. Yeah, he's a beast this tour, both in ranked and in all cup ranking. An absolute monster. Where can I find all the Larry98 pictures? You can go to Larry98/sheets. There's also a link in the description of this video, which can take you there. Or as always, you can see all these slides will be posted to Reddit. Hopefully by the end of the day, worst case scenario tomorrow, which you can see all in detail. But yeah, definitely check out the Larry98's website. Larry does a lot of great work, and you can see much more than just even what I'm showing you. moving forward, we have the Mee coverage thanks to Raker85. And so the way that this sheet is showing you is that on the left, you see the cup, you see the course, just like you would in some of the other spreadsheets such as DKR. But as you move right, you'll see almost kind of like a priority of what you could be using and what could bring you the most amount of points, depending on if you invested in Mees or not. But you see here, these are the Mee plus skills, starting with Coinbox, Boomerang, Lucky 7, and Giant Banana. So if you're looking at, say the Yoshi Cup for ranked, so you have the King Boo Mee Racing Suit and Larry Mee Racing Suit, two great drivers to use on Boo Lake, and that would be probably going to bring you the best score possible. And then as you move forward to the right, you see the non-plus skill Mees, and these would be things like the Chain Shot Mee and Roaring Racer Mee, Ludwig Mee, etc. And then on the very far right, these are the drivers that have a plus skill but are not a Mee. And these would be, so for that, to just kind of show you on Boo Lake, you can see King Mario, you can see PD Piranha, even Mario Halloween, and White Tanuki Mario. So just shows you really what options you have. And then, so if you're just kind of even looking at this, one thing that it's pretty glaring is that week 2 for ranked is going to be really, really tough. So you might even want to go all out to try to win your boy PD Piranha Gold week 1, because there's a lot of good options here. So you might even just double up and just go all in on King Boo Mee Racing Suit, use him 2 of the 3 ranked tracks, win PD Piranha. Feel free to use him week 2 if you need to. But as you can see for week 2, there's only 3 plus skill Mee drivers used the whole entire week 2, including 2 used on Ghost Valley 2RT. You have Donkey Kong Mee Racing Suit, which I might triple cap this tour. We'll see what happens. But again, not a lot of options for Mees. Even the plus skills, there's not a lot. Basically for Boo Lake RT, PD Piranha has an exclusive there for plus skill or Mee. So really good there. Really good information, especially if you go for all cup ranking. Now, of course, he shows these for each single cup. So if you're going for all cup ranking, it's really good to take note of. I will say, for what it's worth compared to most tours, a lot of tours you see like these boxes for the plus skills Mees filled up. This is a little bit more sparingly. This is it's kind of scattered. There's like a couple tracks such as like Airship Fortress and Ghost Valley 2R where you see 2 or more plus skill Mees, but most of them just have 1. It's kind of ironic how that works out. You can also see if you need to level something up to level 3, 6, or 8 in order to use it. And then this kind of the second page shows you the rest of the tour in kind of a part 2 section here, which kind of the same theme applies. There's some really good Mees such as the DK Mee suit, which should be able to help you out. But definitely check this out. This will be on Reddit. Feel free to I think Raker drops it in a lot of servers as well. Really helpful information, especially if you go for all cup ranking. De Niro Simpatico says thank you. I appreciate it, man. Awesome. We'll keep moving forward. So one focus we'll talk about here is the next 3 tracks. So they've already told us, and we already know, we have the Autumn Celebration Part 2, meaning we've taken out the very first tour of the Autumn Celebration. And we've added the Animal Tour, which we know will be in 2 tours from now. So this really gives you some planning of your resources especially for ranked, for the next 2 tours. In addition to this one, might help you be able to make some tough decisions as we go into an autumn tour, which will have a lot of cities, and then in the animal tour, which it's got some DK Mountain, some other tracks there as well that you may not have covered. So over the next Autumn Celebration plus Animal Tour, the next 3 tours, you will use PD Piranha Gold 5 times in ranked. So we already know we're going to be using them, like 3 times this tour. So 5 times total. It's good to know that information. Gold Charging Chuck will be used 4 times. He's already used, once in this tour, but 3 times over the next following 2 tours. Really helpful information. So if you need to use a plus skill driver on the Donut Plains track and rank this first week, you might want to invest in him and then use him 3 ranked over the next 2 tours, which is it's actually a lot. Like, you might actually be in that situation. I'm in that situation. I did not invest in Gold Charging Chuck. So to think about using that investment over the next few tours is kind of exciting. I've also survived this long without investing them. So part of me is like, maybe I can last a little longer. And then we also have Luigi Knight used 3 times. Again, these are all plus skills, so just don't worry about some of the non-plus skills that might be used more. Like say Toad Astronaut could be used 4 times. We're not going to show you that. You could be a Toadette Astronaut fan and have different usage, but I really want to focus in on these plus skills. We also have White Tanuki Mario, Spartacong, and Yellow Mii Racing Suit at least 3 times over the next this and two following tours. Now, of course, Spartacong could get a buffer 2, increasing that from 3 to 4 or maybe even 5, but it's at least used 3 times. As for carts, we have, as we talked about at the very beginning of the episode, the Blazing Eagle is going to be our dominant one here. He's going to be used 5 times over this and the following next 2 tours. We talked about the Purple Dozer being used 4 times. And of course, it's used all 4 times this tour. So use them this tour, don't use them at all. But we do have 2 smaller carts and a medium cart, and that is the Gold Bullet Blaster, which was, by the way, a monster cart. If you don't mind using smaller hitboxes, this Gold Bullet Blaster, a really strong one for a lot of accounts, just based on pure coverage. Same thing with the Streetle, but on a slightly lesser scale. And then Tropical Truck, my personal, probably to this day, favorite cart in the game, used 4 times, and not a lot this tour. So as you can see, you're probably going to be using most of its usage the following 2 tours. Animal Tour was a popular one for it as well. And then finally, we do have a couple carts used 3 times over the next couple tours. And you have a decent number of meta carts that are pretty decent size, such as the gold, the Cact B, which is used a lot mainly because of the battle tracks. But Moo Moo Off-Roader, Camo Tanuki carts, regular Tanuki carts, even the Gold Eagle is a pretty strong one, just based on its sheer size. If you remember, the Eagles actually have the widest hitbox. They don't have the biggest. The biggest includes width and depth, and so the off-roaders are technically the biggest, but they are the widest. Good to know there. So between the Moo Moo Off-Roader, Gold Eagle, some big carts for the next couple tours. All right, before we get into gliders, we'll see who's in the chat. See new comments we have. One RT says so. Nintendo might repeat those tours from last year. Exactly. Brian says Gold Shark is a pleasure to play with. Enjoy yourself. Yeah, you know what? I might go that direction. We'll see. I still have I got Waluigi Mii Racing Suit staring me in the face. You know I'm a big Waluigi fan. And then we have Matt Ulrich who says, let's go New Zealand. AB's just clinched the semis. Congratulations. Wow, they won 44-5. RIP Argentina. Stick to soccer, Argentina. You do a lot better there. Well, good. Let's get into gliders for the next 3 tours. We do have the Boom Masks, which is doing really well this tour, but it's even doing really well in the subsequent tours. You also have the Silver Candlelight Flight. Both of those used 5 times. Obviously a lot this tour as well. We do have a couple gliders in the meta used 4 times, including the Green Cat Parafoil, which has amazing coverage, but is a green shell plus green plus skill, which is one you sometimes want to avoid if at all possible. You do have the Gold Hard Hat, which is used 4 times, which is pretty good. I know this is one that was kind of controversial in the community, so nice to see it used 4 times. You do have the Autumn Leaves and the Gold Cloud Balloons. All 4 of those gliders used 4 times. Now you have a lot of gliders used 3 times. Again, some of those last 2 slides we had filters on, such as plus skill drivers or larger, or I think actually the hitboxes of the carts we just kept showing you. That's why the Streetle was there. But for gliders, it's a lot, man. We have, I would say, out of all these, the best one to invest in might be the 8-bit 1-up Mushroom. Just a monster that's going to be this year. We also have the Black Star Shoot, which has been really great this past year as well, and should be a good one for this upcoming year 5. But both of those used 3 times alongside the red and gold umbrella, the pink cat parafoil, the Ices Mario's mustache, lava rocks, black Toby and balloons, even the vanilla and chocolate ice cream balloons, and then both the Mario and Luigi hat balloons. So there you go, guys. That should prepare you for this and the next 2 tours for ranked. If all you care about is ranked, that's as good as it gets. That will help you through the next 2 or 3 tours. Maybe it helps you kind of go with one driver or cart or glider over another. Now let's move to endgame. Let's talk a little bit how this meta, as we think about the year 5, will look this upcoming year. And all we will do, we've basically condensed it. This last episode, we talked about all the different items over the total of year 5, and specifically which items were used if you took out battle tracks or which ones had unique tracks, really to give you the best data possible. This is going to be a little more condensed. Essentially, we're going to talk about on one slide and one slide only the total usage for the rest of year 5. So let's talk about those. So for drivers, you're going to be using Toad Tourist 27 times total over the rest of year 5. You'll be using Light Blue Shy Guy Explorer 27 times as well. So those two guys, 6 more than any other driver in the game, which is just insane to think about. I know that Sammy D was contemplating the Light Blue Shy Guy Explorer this week in Ranked, and to think about using it 27 times for Ranked Cup this year, that's crazy. It's a lot. Big drop off though to Larry Wintertime, which will be used 20 times in Ranked the rest of year 5. You also have both Gold Charging Chuck and Gold Mees suit used 20 times over the rest of year 5. Those are the best 2 coin box drivers. That's how it ended up being in the meta, and that will also be going forward into the rest of year 5. One below him, you got 3 drivers. You have King Mario, you have Toad Astronaut, and PD Piranha, all used 19 times over the rest of year 5 in the game. You do have a couple drivers used 18 times, including White Tanuki Mario, Poochie, Yellow Mii Racing Suit, and Santa Mii Racing Suit. All those used 18 times the rest of year 5. You have PD Piranha and PD Piranha Mii Racing Suit and Wiggler Mii Racing Suit used at least 17 times. Again, all of these drivers, because they're if they were newer and they still haven't seen certain tracks, they could go up. But as of right now, and again, we get this information as soon as you do, PD Piranha and Mii Racing Suit and Wiggler will most likely get, well, at least the Wiggler Mii will definitely go more than 17. Could get to 20, who knows? But if you're airing between the two, Wiggler will have some decent coverage when it's all said and done, because he has not seen a lot of tracks in the game. You do have Luigi Knight and the regular Wiggler used 16 times in Ranked over the rest of year 5. You have Morton Mii at 14 times over the rest of year 5. Gold PD Piranha 13, and then you have, last but not least, Daisy Tie Dress and Larry Mii Racing Suit used 12 times over the rest of year 5. So when you think about 12 compared to over twice that with Toad Tourist and Light Blue Shy Guy Explorer, there's some pretty substantial drop off. This basically covers as much as you need to know about Ranked over the next 11 and a half months there. Let's talk about carts. We'll see what else we got in the chat. We got Matt Aldridge says Gold Hard Hat and Wonderful Diamond both going to be 8 quad on my account, possibly the Black Star Shoot as well. Yeah, I've already invested in the Gold Hard Hat to 8 triple, and I have the Black Star Shoot at 8 quad. That Black Star Shoot is going to be a really good one for a lot of accounts. Juan Ortiz says, oh no, this guy might say, Juan, you didn't call me handsome when I'm chatting with you on the other day when you were wearing a suit. Yeah, of course, Juan. Appreciate the compliment, man. I'm definitely not wearing a suit this time. That was... I was traveling for work, as I do a lot, and wasn't able to do that, which, by the way, sorry I didn't get to do the reaction with you this past Wednesday. I was up in the Massachusetts area, as I mentioned earlier, and so was not able to do that with you. All right, without further ado, we got some Eagles going on, guys. We got the Get Your Eagle mode on. You got the Blazing Eagle used 22 times in Ranked over the rest of year 5. We have the Swift Talon used 20 times over the rest of year 5. You got both 2 carts used 19 times. The Moo Off-Roader and the Jumbo Jetter used 19 times over the rest of year 5. You have the Red Comet 18, the light blue, I think it's just the blue Crawley Cart 18 times, Armored Rider, and the Silver Cupid Zero, and Pipe, what is it? Gosh, I'm sorry, guys. I want to say Pipe Buggy. It's not Pipe Buggy. It's the Pipe Cart, whatever it is. All 3 of those used 16 times. You can feel free to razz me there in the chat. You can use the. I'm sorry. Let me actually move this chat. I want to make sure you guys can see the chat. Ninja chat should be above everything else. Okay, maybe it is. All right, not sure what's. Oh, maybe it's just covered. Not covered here. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure you guys can see who's chatting. There we go. Now we can see Juan. Much better. Thank you. Cool. And then let me adjust that a little bit too. Cool. All right, now we should be able to. I'll make sure you guys have like the ultimate viewing aesthetic. Cool. Nah, still a little off. I'm really cool. That should be fine. All right, cool. Good. Oh, there we go. So Matt Aldridge says still torn on the LBSG, but probably Maxim as well. That light blue shag guy could be tough for you. You might have to make a decision, but I think when you're looking at how many tracks he has, it's probably one of the safest investments you can. I wanted a Me instead, but there isn't obviously a giant banana or Lucky 7 Me for ranked. Let me know if you're having any ideas. I'm with you, man. Someone else say I'm handsome. Nice, Matt. Well, I think you're handsome, Matt. I appreciate Juan Ortiz's though. Pat me on the back there. I appreciate that. Who might say to you? Best question I've heard all day. Good. Let's finish the rest of these carts. We do have the Red Off-Roader, the Rainbow Pipe Buggy, and the Chain Chomp Chariot, Gold Pipes, all used 15 times over the rest of year 5. We had the Strawberry Soft Swerve and the Black Shield Speedster used 14 times over the rest of year 5. Sky Blue Mark II, Cream B-Dasher Mark II, and the Pink Comet and Gold Cupid's Arrow at least 13 times. I will say the Pink Comet and the Gold Cupid's Arrow could go up, but those are both used 13 times. And then the Black B-Dasher Mark II used 12 times. So a couple B-Dasher. It's nice to see the B-Dasher Mark IIs on this list as they're quite old, but I know Sammy D loves them. I think a lot of people love the way that they came out into the game. It was one of the coolest parts of the game. If you look back at some of the special pipes. Matt's having a conversation with his wife, it looks like, and then Shannon and Matt Aldridge says, I'm sure you're logged into devices there, Matt. Let's move into gliders for ranked usage over the rest of year 5. We have one dominant glider. That is the wonderful Garnet, used 27 times. We have a couple gliders used 23 times, 4 of them. 8-bit 1-up mushroom, yellow hard hat balloons, and then or just yellow hard hat, fuzzy kite, which was did really well last tour, still a top 5 glider, really rest of way for ranked. And then you have the wonderful diamond used 23 times. All of those used 23 times. The 2 gliders used 22 times, including the Mario hat balloon. You do have the 8-bit block glider and the gold hard hat balloons. Both, all of those are really good. Surprise one you might not have expected would be the gold cloud balloons used 20 times alongside of the calico toe beam balloons, the 8-bit checkered glider, or I think it's just 8-bit super glider, the 8-bit gold glider, the smiley glider, the smiley flower glider, the golden glider, the checkered glider, red checkered glider, 22, all those 20 times. So again, some of those have been in the meta. Some might be surprises to you. You also have the icy Mario mustache used 19 times, the Parapanini also used 19 times, and then 3 gliders used 18 times, including the Sakura origami glider, which was a meta glider of really the last 2 years, and then the chocolate pretzel and the festive holly. So there you go, guys. That is ranked. If you do not care about All Cup ranking, you can feel free to tune out. I appreciate you being here. But for those of you who want to know about All Cup ranking, this will cover for the next couple minutes here, as we probably are only going to be together for the next probably 7 or 8 minutes or so until about 5:45 my time. But this is going to be All Cup rankage usage for year 5 of Mario Kart Tour. This is where we're going to be talking about hundreds, because we're talking about 45 tracks over the next 11 and a half months. So, of course, no surprise here. The gold Mii racing suit between different cup boosts, etc., is going to be used a whopping 160 times If you play all cup ranking at all, you need to take this bad boy all the way up if at all possible. He's going to be used a crazy insane 160 times, which is a substantial drop off between that and any of the other drivers, including the yellow Mii racing suit, which is used 130 times. Hold on just one second. Yeah, we do have the... I'm sorry, give me 1 second. Yeah, yellow Mii racing suit 130 times. Toad Astronaut 129 times. PD Piranha 128 times. PD Piranha Mii racing suit 127. Then we kind of get a little more drop off there. Light Blue Shy Guy Explorer. So he's not used in all cup ranking quite as much, but definitely a lot in ranked. Silver Mii racing suit 123 times. Question Block Head 123 times. The Mii racing suit. 22 for King Mario. 122 for Santa Mii racing suit. Luigi Knight 119. Daisy Tie Dress 117. Larry Winter Time 113. Mario Wipe Tanuki Mario 112. Gold Charging Chuck 111. Nabbit 106, which is kind of a surprise as he never really hit our meta. Gold PD 105 times. Bronze Mii racing suit 102 times. And then here we go, Toad Taurus 100 times and the DK Mii racing suit 100 times. So as you can see there, Toad Taurus, a big ranked champion, not so popular in all cup ranking. But there you go. That hopefully will help you plan out your year for all cup ranking. And then 2 more slides, we'll wrap up here. Yeah, I got some good fun comments there. Going for carts, we do have the Blazing Eagle, used 118 times alongside the Crawley, the light blue Crawley cart. So both of those by far the best carts in the game. Sorry, I'm just texting my family. We also have the Pipes 110 times, the Red Off-Roader 108, the Black B-Dasher the Black Cact B 108 times, Strawberry Soft Swerve 107, the Trickster 105, Pink Purple Dozer 105, the Taylor Swift 103, Moomoo Off-Roader 101, the Sweet Ride, which is kind of a surprise there, 98 times, the Creamback B-Dasher Mark II 97 times, the Pink Comet at least 96 times, because it's a little bit newer. It's probably one of the newer ones on this list, to be honest with you. So I can see that only going higher, whereas most of the other ones we've just talked about have seen every track in the game. You got the Pink B-Dasher Mark II 94 times, the Warrior Wagon 93, the Red B-Dasher Mark II 92, and then we got some gold carts here, which is kind of surprising. The Lunar Cruiser 92 times, the gold one, the Gold Eagle 91 times, the Rainbow Pipe Buggy 91 times, and the Gold Sweet Ride there 88 times. So surprising ones there. Kind of probably the most surprising is the Strawberry Soft Swerve, the Sweet Ride, the Gold Sweet Ride. Got some sweet items in there. Even some pink items in there, which you gotta love. Then closing out the rest of the items, which are all with gliders. So the number 1 all cup ranking rest of year 5 would be the Fuzzy Kite, which I've already eaten some crow on, and we might see me dressed up as a Fuzzy here soon. It is used 133 times in all cup ranking. You got the Mario Hat Balloons 131 times, the Silver Candlelight Flight 130 times. You have the Luigi Hat Balloons 128. Same with the Yellow Hard Hat. You have the Black Star Shoot, used 125 times. The Fire Manta, 124 times. The 8-Bit 1-Up Mushroom, 123 times. Surprising one here, the White Waves Origami Glider, 122 times. That's very surprising. Boom Mask have been pretty solid, 120 times. So this one's kind of surprising how low the wonderful Garnet was, considering how much it was in ranked. Just shows you how much favoritism it was given in rank there. Smiley Flower Glider 119 times. The pink Magnifying Glass 116. The silver Luigi's Mustache 116. And same with the chocolate pretzel and the festive holly. And then you have the vanilla and chocolate balloons 114 times. Gold hard hat 114 times. And then the Rainbow Fair Flyer 114 times. And last but not least, the Yoshi cookies 111 times. So there you go, guys. Thanks for tuning in. That concludes our episode of the rundown. So again, a little bit shorter version, but we had a lot of fun. Got to go over a lot of information. One of these, Matt was using the Gold Mario on Paris Promenade B. In multiplayer, he was telling everyone to choose the coin box glider during the anniversary tour. Gotcha. Matt Roger says the yellow Mii is a big missed opportunity for me. Mounted to be worth it. How good is it for ranked? Yeah, we've already kind of talked about the yellow Mii. It was pretty decent both in ranked and all cup ranking. It might still be worth it. Yeah, I think so. I think any Mii suit that's plus skill is honestly going to be worth it for this year. One RTs, Coinbox, Lucky 7, Boomerang Flower, and Giant Banana. Yes, those are the top skills there. Bardudo says, everything I had to choose between yellow Mii and something else, I chose the other thing and then ended up regretting it. Yeah, for sure, man. This tour, I finally invested into it for the Ghost Valley 2 RT. Love it, man. What's going on, GodMad? Hopefully you're doing well, GodMad. Appreciate your love, man. I think I'll go in on Stay to Me over Yellow Mii suit. What do you guys think? I think it's certainly a not bad idea. I think you can't go wrong with either one. Why not both? There you go, guys. So that concludes the episode of The Rundown. Appreciate your patience this week as this was coming out. Let us know what you thought about this format. Again, no anti-left, so no banter, but hopefully it was still entertaining. Thanks again for all of your support and love. Love to continue doing this if at all possible. But